Why you can't attract and keep a high caliber man? This is a question that is on the minds of a lot of women, and I am going to answer it for you in very specific detail. My wonderful elegance ladies, welcome back to another video. My name is Vivian, the founder of Woman of Elegance, which is a platform I've created to help women globally become the most elegant, refined, classy, and feminine women that they can be. Elegance is such an important quality to embody, ladies. So if this is something that you can do, start developing these qualities in your everyday life. It will benefit you so much. In today's episode, I am seeking to change mindsets, dispel myths, and get you one step closer to becoming a high caliber woman who will be magnetic to quality, masculine, respectable provider men who are trying to build generations of strong, useful members of society. I am going to tell you why you can't attract or keep a high caliber man and advise you on what to do to change this narrative. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Point number one, you are flimsy with your boundaries. One of the hallmarks of an elegant woman is that she has boundaries, and she is particular with how and with whom she spends her time. She knows that her time is valuable, and she is conscious of wasting her years on things and people that do not benefit her. Why is this important? You are essentially who you attract. Therefore, if you are accustomed to allowing all kinds of men into your midst and you don't communicate these boundaries effectively, you will become easy prey to men who are out there to take and use. If you create firm boundaries from the very beginning of a relationship and are strict with them, men will have no choice but to respect this. He will then choose to stay and work within these boundaries or leave. And ladies, please, if he leaves, let him go. You haven't lost anything. Unfortunately, it's usually the same narrative for some women. You meet the guy of your dreams who you feel is completely out of your league, and you just don't know how to say no when he asks you to do something you're uncomfortable with, just because you feel you will lose him if you say no. You inherently feel like you're not good enough and he is the best you're going to get, so you let your guard down. Your no becomes perhaps, why not, and eventually yes. He sees that it's for the taking, and when he's done, he leaves. And this becomes a cycle, and you just keep attracting the same loser users. How do you break this cycle so you can begin to attract men of high caliber? You need to look inwards and be honest with yourself. What kinds of behaviors did you previously tolerate? Make it a point not to tolerate them anymore. Would he always turn up late, lie to you, never keep to time? He'll tell you he'll be there at 4 o'clock and arrives at 6 p.m. with no good reason. Would he flirt with other women, puts you down in front of people? Well, make it a point not to tolerate any of these habits anymore. If it happens once, cut him off. Don't make excuses. This will gradually raise your standards, and then in turn, you'll begin to automatically align yourself to men who will never exhibit these traits. Point number two, you are too available. Why are designer brands such as Hermes and Chanel so coveted? Why are diamonds so expensive? Why do women want men who are leveled up in every aspect of their lives, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically? Because they are rare and difficult to attain. Therefore, the demand for these things increase and people want them more. Innately, as humans, we want to have what we can't have. It's just the way that we are. So you may ask yourself, does me being available mean that I'm not desirable? Unfortunately, yes. Why are you available? Are you bored, lonely, have nothing to do? Spend all day browsing through TikTok? Ask yourself this. If you were a woman who invested in every facet of her life, from her health to her intellect and her appearance, would you want a man who was jobless and played video games all day? No, of course you wouldn't. So why do you think You could attract a high caliber man if you just sat at home and ate junk food and scrolled on Instagram day in, day out. It would never happen. And among other things, a quality man wants a woman who is at the very least feminine, kind, a potential wife and a mother. If you don't know how to cook and your house is a complete mess, then you have a lot to work on before you can attract the man of your dreams. If you're belligerent and you get into fights and you can't handle your emotions, how are you going to react if your prospective mother-in-law says something you don't like, for example? Men are not that complicated, but they are by no means simpletons. They look at these things. Be honest. Take a look at your Instagram or Facebook profile. What does it say about you? Is every other photo a half-naked post? Does every other photo show you in the club? Then why are you getting frustrated when men slide into your DMs with sexual innuendos? You attract who you are. Point number 3, you have a terrible attitude about men. All men are trash. I don't need a man, I can just go to the sperm bank. What can a man do for me? I'm just doing hot girl summer.
Men are trash, right? I'm not gonna lie.
Ladies, is that your attitude? Your thoughts become things. If you are constantly telling everyone around you that men are trash, men are useless, all men are the same, then my dear, why are you looking for a man? Just stay single. There's nothing wrong with being single. But if you are looking for a high value man, you cannot afford to align your thoughts that way. You have to fix your mindset immediately, because you may come across the man of your dreams, but because of what your ex did to you, you're not going to put any effort into something that could potentially be wonderful. There are exceptional men out there. This brings us nicely onto our next point. Point number 4, you're still hung up on your ex. Most of us have been there at least once in our lives. We've had a relationship or a marriage that we thought would last forever, but it came to an abrupt end. If that has happened to you, then I am so sorry, but ladies, trust me, the best is yet to come. Do not allow bad soil to prevent you from growing new foliage. It would be such a shame if you miss out on a life with a good and responsible man because you cannot get over your ex. Never allow a mere mortal to dictate your future. God did not give humans that power. The reality is that he has moved on, so you will be doing yourself a disservice if you don't do the same. Never feel like you won't find someone comparable to your ex. Use this time of singleness to work on yourself and develop qualities that will inevitably attract a high caliber man. Point number 5. You exhibit off-putting masculine traits. This is a very important point, and I advise that if you can only work on one of these points for now, then this should be a priority. There are many reasons why some women exhibit masculinity. This could be a result of growing up in a single parent household where mother had to take both the roles of mother and father, or you didn't have the guidance and protection that a family nucleus provides, so you had to do it all on your own from a young age, or perhaps you were bullied, so you had to develop this tough exterior, or you've been a victim of domestic violence. These are all valid reasons for developing masculine energy, absolutely. However, the reality is that quality masculine men who are responsible providers and leaders can't be with women operating in their masculine energy. The two just do not work. They completely repel each other. There can't be two captains on the same ship. Whatever your reasons may be, it is important to develop the mindset that you can definitely become a feminine and soft woman. It will take practice and persistence, but you can do it. So what are some examples of masculine traits that you need to work hard at dispelling? Using profanity, going for drinking binges with the blokes, getting physical or even violent with men, shouting, arguing, being promiscuous, competing with men. These are all complete repellents of masculine, high quality men. If you want to attract a quality man, you really need to embody and cultivate feminine traits. Allow a man to lead. Allow him to protect you. Understand that submission is not a weakness. In fact, it's a strength and a beautiful quality to embody. Love cannot operate with ego. If your ego is too big and you let pride suffocate your relationship, you will push this good man into the arms of a woman who allows him to play his God-given role of a masculine protector. There's no two ways about it. How can he do that if every single time he is around you, he has to put his guard up to deal with your masculinity? I have a video on how to be feminine, so you can watch that after you've finished watching this video. Point number 6, you keep playing mind games. Generally, men who have got their whole lives in order, who are incredibly successful, highly respected in their work and their circle of friends and their family unit, are because they have worked very hard to get to where they are. They're very disciplined and view time as a valuable commodity, so they won't waste it. In addition to this, they will not have time to waste on women who are caught up playing mind games. He will lose interest immediately and he will not chase you. High caliber men know what they want and they're ordinarily very straightforward about their intentions. So if he tells you he doesn't have time for a relationship, but conveniently invites you to his home, it's because he wants sex. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't try and interpret it differently. If he tells you that he's looking for a wife and introduces you to his parents and his friends and includes you in his future plans, believe him and his actions. Don't doubt yourself and try to play hard to get because you think that he will want you more because of it. He has investments to make or patience to attend to, so he doesn't have time to play silly games. If you do this, he will begin to look at you as childish and immature, and he will begin to lose interest. His actions will always speak louder than words, so believe him when he shows you what he wants and don't allow your insecurities to cause you to doubt him. Point number 7, you aren't a high quality woman. Be honest with yourself. Are you lazy, unable to keep a job, unreliable, you don't look after your physical hygiene? Do you have a potty mouth and spend your days watching reality TV and eating McDonald's? Are you a jealous person? Do you tell lies all the time? If you want a high quality man, it's essential you look inwards. A man hasn't spent his whole life building himself financially, emotionally, physically, and mentally, carved out an incredible career for him, and has top-notch morals just to attract a woman who doesn't reverberate these qualities. You need to be the equate. What do you do during your recreation? Nightclubs and wine bars? Or do you go to exhibitions and wine tasting events? When you travel abroad, do you spend all day on the beach taking selfies for social media? Or do you take time to visit historical landmarks and learn about the culture of the indigenous people? Do you try to learn a few words in the local languages, or do you just walk past the locals and ask them to take pictures of you and your friends? It's time to hold yourself accountable if you want to be a high quality woman in order to find a man of equal caliber. Put yourself in situations where you will meet these types of men so you become familiar with them. Again, watch where you associate. It is unlikely you will find these kind of men drunk at the nightclub or on the internet. Watch my video if you haven't done so on 12 elegant places to visit. Guaranteed you will find cultured, well-spoken, high-value men that are definitely marriage material at these places. Point number 8, you are self-absorbed. Are you constantly talking about yourself and your problems? Do you make everything about you? What does it mean to be self-absorbed? Often, narcissism is very connected to self-absorption. You must understand that whether you are rich or not, happy or not, healthy or not, everybody has problems to deal with. It isn't all about you. You should learn to live with the fact in mind that there are other people around you. A person who is self-absorbed is one who is only interested in their own thoughts, feelings, and concerns. Ask yourself this: how can you possibly be of any use in a relationship if all you're concerned about is yourself? Try to be more empathetic, caring, and kind. Show a personal interest in others around you. Being vain and conceited is definitely a turn off to decent people. So if you have the tendency to exhibit these traits, it's time to change. Instead of getting annoyed that he hasn't called you, perhaps show concern. Is he all right? Is work stressing him out? If he's gone quiet, don't allow your ego to give him the silent treatment. Check on him to see if he's okay and stop allowing your annoyance to cause a rift between the two of you. Point number 9. You are the pursuer and you are aggressive about it. Stop the pursuit now. Stop chasing him. Stop. High quality women do not chase men. You may ask yourself, Vivian, you just told us that if my man has gone quiet, I should check up on him to see if he's okay. That's completely different. You are protecting your interest. You're protecting what's already yours. High caliber men are intentional. And if he wants you, he will move mountains to get you. Trust me. Men are hunters by nature. This may sound cliched, but it's a fact. And as a result, they like to do the pursuing. I'm by no means saying that women should be stoic and not give subtle signs and signals of interest. But if you pursue a man with such rigor and passion, then this will definitely come off as desperate. And this is very off-putting to a man of high caliber. And he will take what you're offering freely on a platter of gold. A high value man knows what he wants and goes after it when he sees it. If he isn't pursuing you, it likely means that he is not interested. Point number 10, you have terrible friends. Tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. This is such a poignant statement and it couldn't be more true. You are a product of the people you spend most of your time with. If you have friends that are a negative influence in all facets of your life, do you honestly think that they will be happy for you when you attract a brilliant man? Of course not. They'll do everything in their power to jeopardize it. If you don't have good friends, it's important to reevaluate your friendship circle. Surround yourself with happily married friends if your goal is to settle down. However, ladies, take note of this point. Don't be naive and think just because your friends are married, they automatically want what's best for you. If they're unhappy in their marriage, they could sadly be jealous of your budding romance. Ultimately, it's important that you build your confidence to a point where you can make your own decisions and use your sound judgment of mind and instinct to decipher whether a man is good for you or not. Don't get into the habits of asking different friends for their opinions. Be discerning. My advice to you is that if you've started dating a man and it's getting serious, seek the opinion of one friend, perhaps an elderly friend with much life experience, not a friend who is constantly embroiled in drama or someone who is just not innately happy. If you can, keep your relationship private and seek out the opinion only if you must. Ladies, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I really hope it helps you to change your mindset into helping you get the high quality man you deserve. But remember to always take accountability first before expecting anything. Thank you very much for watching.